Okay, I am still at school this time, so instead of saying tonight, it's still afternoon. It's about 4:20. I'm still in the biology room, so there's no chance that someone will be eating Little Debbie snack cakes with me tonight. So this lesson is going to be pretty quick. I have a note sheet posted on Edmodo, so go ahead and print that off. I'm just looking to hit the highlights in all of these organ systems. You'll be doing further research in all of them depending on what your muscle or what your organ is for your final project. But tonight we're going to be looking at the muscular. And I do want you to know these four main characteristics of muscles. So go ahead and write those down on your note sheet. Go ahead and list and describe or define these. You have contraction. This is the ability of a muscle to shorten. And this is what actually causes you to move, is the contraction of muscles. But they also have the ability to respond to an impulse from the nervous system, and this is called irritability. Now, this is not a word that's new to us. We've been seeing the word irritability as a characteristic of life since we started talking about even plants. So that's not a new definition. Muscles also have elasticity. This is its ability to return back to its previous shape. And then extensibility, which is the ability of a muscle to stretch even while it's being relaxed. Okay, I do want you to know the three main types of muscle tissue. We have smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, and skeletal muscle. Smooth muscles, this is what's found in your internal organs. It's listed right here, internal organs. So I want you to list and describe these examples there on your note sheet: smooth, cardiac, and skeletal. And then when I say describe, I want you to tell me if it's striated or where that muscle group is found. So smooth muscles are non-striated. They are found in the walls of your internal organs, like your stomach, and these muscles are involuntary. You don't tell your stomach muscles to contract or relax or flex or anything like that. Your cardiac muscles, these do have striations. You can see those here, the lines there in that diagram there. These muscles are found in the walls of your heart, and they likewise are involuntary. I want to know that too. Put in your notes if they're striated, where they're found, and if they're voluntary or involuntary. Finally, the skeletal muscles, you can see right here the striations of the skeletal muscles. They are usually attached to the skeleton. That's where they're found, and they indeed are voluntary. So get all of those three different types of muscle groups found, muscle tissues found in the body. Okay, then I have here label and define the parts of the muscle. Just follow along with me here. This white part back here at the very back of your notes, that is actually the tendon. Remember, tendons connect muscles to bones. Then the next one around this circle, this is actually the skeletal muscle. So that is the muscle. That whole big part right there is a muscle. Okay, then that next one that's shaped kind of like a V, that's this part that's being lifted up right here, and that's the epimysium. Label that. Okay, then inside here, that's the paramecium. And those are kind of secondary to the ones that I kind of want you to know. This next part right here that has the circle around it, I do want you to know that for sure. That's the fascicle, a muscle fascicle. This is just a bundle of cells within the muscle. So kind of define that as a bundle of cells. A fascicle is a bundle of cells. And they're just bound together. These are hundreds of fibers that are bound together with other layers of connective tissue. And this is just a cross-sectional view of it right there. So that you have the fascicle that's within the muscle, and then within the fascicle you have this skeletal muscle fiber. So that's a muscle fiber. We're kind of breaking down all the pieces. So within this fiber, this is a cross-sectional right here. The only part that I really want you to pay close attention to are these red circles. Kind of looks like a pomegranate. But I want you to know this myofibril, the myofibril. These are tiny thread-like cells. They're fibers, and they are parallel to one another, and they extend the length of the fiber. So your book kind of goes into a lot of detail about that. So really, I want you to know the tendon, the epimysium, not so much the paramecium there, but I do want you to know the fascicle, the muscle fiber, and the myofibril. Know those right there. And go ahead and label those, and we'll define those a little bit more in class. We're going to do a muscle contraction and muscle fatigue activity tomorrow, and I know it's just a half day in class, so we're going to work on that and then maybe work on some things. I'm not sure if it'll even take you the whole time, so you may have time to catch up on some of your work. Okay, muscles move always in pairs. The muscle movements, your muscles are always going to work in pairs. You have a primer and an antagonist. The primer is the one that performs the initial action, and the antagonist muscle will then perform the opposite action. And I've got a little video here that I want you to watch. I may have to work on getting it pulled up. Okay, and then finally, I want you to copy these down. These are the muscles that I'll expect you to know for a quiz. And that's all we have for tonight, so that was really short. See you tomorrow.